everyone. Hi, Kavi.
Hi.
How have you been?
Been good. How have you been? Long time, long night. It's been a
Yeah,
while.
yeah, long time. It's been long
The
that
two
both of
of
us
us are
made an
coming together
episode.
for an episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. And the sad part is that this is the final episode.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah. So to everyone who's watching us right now, a very warm welcome to the AIESEC Sri Lanka podcast season 3, and this is the final episode. As you all know,
Yeah,
our tagline is creativity without constraints. Yeah,
that
Kavi?
is right. That is right. And this is going to be the down the memory lane of creativity without constraints. It's been a long journey. 10 episodes. This. It's been different individuals coming on board. And I think you watched us already. You heard the previous episodes on the different platforms that this was available. So that was the Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor.fm, YouTube, and the Facebook page of AIESEC Sri Lanka. And
Mm-hmm.
brought you as a production of the national showcasing team. Just to remind you on that as well. And actually, hasn't it been a wonderful journey over the past few months?
It surely has been a wonderful journey. I think before we take everybody down the memory lane, Kavi, we should give a good round of applause, at least both of us right now, to the national showcasing team of AIESEC Sri Lanka for putting this all together, for bringing in amazing personalities to the podcast season 3, and letting us host this season and take this forward. Take something creative to the society. I think every discussion we had with all personalities we had throughout the season, we've had something creative. Apart from what they're known for, we also got to know them a little bit more into the creative side, and how they would do things differently. I think that's amazing. I think all the artists and the business icons we brought here also enjoyed the podcast.
Yes, hands down, actually, hands down. Because I think this is a great initiative. The youth coming forward to add value to the lives of the other youth around the country, and also to include us. It has been a wonderful journey because we've learned ourselves as well. We've been in the creative business, but we've learned a lot ourselves as well with the different individuals who came in. And because the experience we got was not just merely reading a book or just a casual conversation, it was insights, it was personal exposure, their personal life stories. And
Yeah.
that experience and exposure cannot be matched with anything else. And I think that's the big had over the season 3 of podcast. And I think most of us were able to add something to our lives, impart something into our lives and take it forward in our journeys, in our careers, and our personal lives as well.
Yeah, that's right. Coming now, as we go down the memory lane, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone who's watching us, we would like to take you through a recap of every episode that we did. And this is all about that, the final episode. As you all know, both of us started the very first episode of AIESEC Podcast Season 3 last September, to be exact. You must have watched us, both of us introducing ourselves and talking about how creativity is involved in our profession, because both of us are like two different genders in the same
That
life,
is convo before,
same,
yeah, right?
yeah,
The different
because
version, it's just the different gender.
yeah, same version, just a different gender. So both of us are news anchors, and both of us are corporate trainers. Both of us are TV personalities in general, voice artists. Both of us are event hosts,
Public
and
speakers,
award-winning public speakers, both.
and then other
And
interests as well.
yeah, a lot. And above all, we are best friends as well.
Yeah, we are,
So,
we
um,
are.
so to Kavi, to start off with, I think when we covered the very first episode, we spoke about how creativity is involved in our business and how it's a creative business, literally.
It is,
But
it is.
shall we just talk a little bit on how it has improved with the COVID-19 situation, and things have evolved during the past few months, past 6 months, sort of. I think we
Yes.
could add a little bit to contribute a little more towards the tagline of creativity without constraints in our own experiences before we move forward to others. So, Kavi,
That
what have
is,
you got to
yeah.
say, and anything new that you get to share with everyone?
I think actually the business, or rather this platform that we work in, has changed, evolved. We all know that we've moved ahead with digitization. We've moved into
Yeah.
digital platforms. Well, it doesn't give the same feeling as being physically out there. But then we have adapt and, go forward with it, improvise accordingly. And I think the first few steps would have been difficult even for us as well as individuals. But then as we moved on, as we got along with it, I think we've learned how to be professional in this digital platform, how to use it effectively, and how to be creative in the platform as well, from
Yeah.
how to impress even while it's a virtual platform or a digital forum. And even from our backgrounds to the voice setting to this, that, and the other, we've not just sat there and done it, but put in our efforts as well, try to be creative, even from the slightest thing we can, as much as we do, and make that effort physically as well. So I think that's like the learning over the last, pandemic situation, the bio bubbles and all that. But
Yeah.
that's value to our lives, Ashi.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to share an experience because during the last 6 months, I think my life and career also took a little bit of a U-turn and an upgrade. It was an incline, which is good because
Good.
for about 2 years, the creative business did not really have business, and now only it's picking up. And as you know, and as many know, I started my own talk show where
Yeah.
I experienced how important creativity is. It's not just a skill to be able to host or to be able to handle people, but the creativity in content, because everything narrows down to you. You've got to do it at one point.
That
Of
is
course,
right.
not alone. You have a team to work with, but when your name and face is out there, the responsibility and the pressure comes to you. Then creativity becomes a must.
Must.
Yeah, and then that's crazy. And also another experience that I faced is how we all prepare most of the time, right? We advise a lot of people to prepare before an event.
Prepare.
But like since recently, my event hosting experience, like I said, it took another step up, where I started getting a few of these mega events, and I started to realize I'm asking the organizers, can I get an agenda? Like, why aren't you sharing the agenda? Because I'm a person, I at least want to see the agenda so that I know the scale of the event, and I know, especially I'm a attire freak, so I need to know what I wear, even though I don't know what I'm going to say at the event. I need to know what I wear. So I've been like,
I
why aren't you
remember
sharing
this.
the
I
agenda?
remember.
Yeah.
Because remember, for contest, before
I,
even winning, you'll have planned what you are going to wear for the next contest. Yeah. So
yeah, you know that.
yeah, I know that.
Yeah, yeah. So attire is a must for me when it comes to anything. So I now recently also, this is Slim Brand Excellence and the
Yeah.
music, like dream music concerts. I'm like, okay, tell me at least who are the artists and tell me the agenda. No, nothing. And on the day, like 10 minutes before the show, they give the agenda. They're like, this is the agenda, this is the flow, and you got to tell a little bit about the background. And I'm like, okay, if
What's
you
the
want us to
background?
tell, what's the background? So that's exactly where creativity is needed, and also it comes through experience.
Experience.
And
Experience.
yeah, because one of my like we are all artists, right? Not just creative business, but any individual who's watching us right now, you are an artist. You
Artist.
have a talent that you want to take forward, and there's something that you like, you want to get out of the society's formula of, for following high education, corporate job. No, get out of it. As much as you want to follow it, but take a step out and have a
Oh,
parallel path, have a path that you like to do, especially
yeah.
now. Yeah, look at the AIESECers, right? They study and they get into these projects, and this is not something they have to do, but this brings up a lot of skills. So the experience actually matters at the end of the day. And when you idolize a person, now my biggest flex recently is, I talk a little more about this because I got to compare with Clifford, right?
Clifford.
And I have been thinking about this for so long. And when I got the chance, there's no agenda for the event, and this is like a national award ceremony. The agenda comes 5 o'clock, event is starting, you have to welcome the guests. So now we know 5 o'clock we have to welcome the guests, but we don't know who the guests are.
Who the
We don't
guests
know
are.
what the agenda is. Like 10 to 15 minutes before, they're like, okay, this is the agenda, let's run through it. 5 minutes we just ran through it, agenda given. We're like, okay. And my heart was just pounding crazily. So then I knew, okay, this is where the expertise, experience, creativity, everything comes.
That's
So
right. That's right.
yes.
So happy. And I think with your turning point and your show being brought on, I think it's that fact of creativity which helps us to stand
Yeah.
out. Because today, if we go on YouTube, there's enough and more talk shows, enough and more
Mm.
people, known people and having a chit chat and all that. But
Yeah.
creativity comes and distinguishes yours from the others, and that's what matters. So, like been telling throughout the season, and even when we share our experiences, what we've been saying is add your own personal color to whatever you do. It might be something very small, but do add your own color, because that makes it stand out, because you and I are different, we are unique, and that personal color is a lot of additional creativity to what you do. So actually that was us with the episode 1, and then we moved on to
Yes.
where we had Ravi Royster coming in.
Mm.
It was a wonderful episode, a good chit chat, a friendly chit chat. He was a very fun loving person as well. We sang a couple of songs which
Hmm.
his newest release, and
Yeah.
we got his insights from, as a person who's involved with music, and how he brings in creativity, that element of his, because that's his element, that's where he is passionate about, that's what he loves to do, and how creativity is important, because there's enough and more artists out there trying to do a new song, put out a new song every day, and try to bring out the quantity sometimes, but it's not about quantity, it's about the quality and the level of effort you put in, the heart and soul you put in, that captures the mind of the audience, and remains, it makes a mark. So that's why creativity is important, and that was a message that Ravi brought in as well. And Ashi, next episode.
Yeah, moving on to the episode 3. Before we move forward, I would like to request all of you who are watching us right now, this is the final episode. So engage with us. Let us know how you have felt throughout all of these episodes, and any comments for Kavi and I, anything. So just
Anything.
comment, like, share. अरे अभी पटांगाना दवा
First
सुनने
day,
ये
first
जिंदगी
day.
दिव्य comment कराना like कराना share कराना एक then epic. So
Then,
there you go, that's how trends just disappear, but if you're
yeah,
creative enough, you will keep it going, you will keep it going.
exactly.
um and yeah, moving on to episode 3, we
3.
had it on the title of creativity and innovation at the core of every entrepreneur. And on that, we had a very special personality, a businessman and entrepreneur, Mr. Danika Pereira. He's a change making entrepreneur in Sri Lanka, founder of Helakuru, Pay Here, Shop Here, and Isana, and CEO of Basha. And I think something new is also coming up, and
Yeah.
he's cooking
And
something
I
very
think it's
yummy.
actually out. It's
Is it
actually out,
released? Oh,
Ashi.
sorry. Okay, so I'm a little
Because
outdated. I think I saw. I met him like 2 weeks ago. He mentioned the fact that something new is coming. Something new is coming. So I'm sure it is it up.
yeah. Yes, it is, because he mentioned about the payment factor, a payment gateway as well, join
Oh,
through and all that. So that is
right.
out, as per my knowledge.
Mm,
Correct me if I'm wrong, everyone who's watching us. I think it's
okay.
out.
Interesting, interesting. So he's a it's pay here. No, pay here was anyway there, right?
He was
There was
there.
a, yeah. It's a new one. So yeah, he's a serial entrepreneur with a lot of innovative ideas, and that's something I'm sure a lot of people wonder how these people think and come up with new things. It's because they're crazy, like good crazy, which is creativity without constraints. You don't go to look, you just put yourself in one place and just come up with any crazy idea that works, literally. So moving forward to episode 4,
Yeah,
Kavi,
episode
you did
4 was
this.
titled Think Outside of the Box. And we had Intikab Zufar now. He's a lecturer. He's a senior lecturer at Cambridge College of Business and Management, and also the Chief Operations Officer at International Medical Campus. Now, actually, now this was one episode I think I did alone. And this was very interesting because he was such a fun-loving person. I would call him a marketing expert. He was so much into marketing, shared a lot
Hmm.
of about how to be creative, and how you use that element of creativity when it comes to advertisements and every little thing in your life. And it was a very fun loving conversation, and I think the students of this lecturer are loving his lectures, and I felt it was a so fun filled lecture that day. And it was good, it was a good, really good conversation. where he spoke about how to differentiate yourself on social media as well, and how to effectively use social media, and how to be consistent when you use social media for marketing and your personal needs as well. If you want to do something, do it consistently and persistently. Just don't do it and stop. Be creative while you do it, so you make an effort, you make an impact. It might be just 150 people, a very small crowd that you're speaking to, but do it, right? Do it, and over the time you'll see the feedback coming in, the base growing. So do that effort, and that was a message that he passed on to everyone. I think a message that the youth needs to listen to, because I think as young individuals, most of us have this very urging need, to start off something. But the problem comes afterwards. When you start something, how long do we do it for? We start. It's like quick fire. We do it and then done and dusted. It's like the like karana sha karana thamai,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, it's done and dusted. There's no change afterwards. There's no adaptation. You try to do, stick to the same old stigma. No, it doesn't work. But be consistent, persistent, but also, bringing creativity. So that was a fun, loving conversation. And next, we had another individual in the episode 5, which is yours.
Yeah, this was again. This episode was hosted by me, where we went on the title of "Changing Your Lifestyle Through Creativity." We brought in Gaya Kodituaku, the CEO at Strong Her Private Limited, the transformational coach and an alchemist. This episode was really moving simply because of her own life stories and how she has made all the things that a trauma that she has actually gone through as a child, as a daughter in her own family. She has made it all an opportunity to come out of it and give more opportunities to more strong wills to other women and other people. So I think that is a great, I think from the name itself, a transformational coach who has gone through the transformation, and especially in the body weights and the fitness side. But it's also a mental thing, right? It's
Yeah.
not just a physical transformation, it's a mental transformation as well. So now she is into helping a lot of people. And recently also I saw on her social media, a lot of people, her clients, have put like how good she is and how much she has helped and taken everybody through a great transformation. And there also she brought in the fact that how creativity can change your lifestyle fully. No matter how down you are, no matter who puts you down, it always comes down to you. If you have control of it, make a change, make a decision for a better change, at least. So if it's not in your control, probably put that away. But if it's about you, something involving you, it always comes down to you. So don't just let things pass by. Don't be like, let time solve it. The days will go on. No, those are not really terms to be said. Take your own responsibility for what you say about your own life, no matter how old you are. The Sri Lankan, now taking the conversation a little towards another part, the Sri Lankan mindset concept, where parents, I wish this podcast, I hope parents also can watch this, because it's important. It's important for
Yes.
parents to know that um, they are honestly in another generation. We are in another generation, and after us now, there's another generation coming. We are actually old, Kavi. Uh,
Let's not go there.
yeah. Let's not go there. I just remembered how many people call me auntie right now. But yeah, um, so going forward, for everybody to understand that let's not stick to what is said by the society. Let's not stick to the traditions, culture. Yes, Sri Lanka, there's a culture which we protect, but that culture never defines your life. Come on, right, Kavi? Like, what is your opinion about it?
Agreed, Ashi. Agreed. Because I think maybe yes, we do have traditions and cultures which need to be respected. That
Mhm.
is a story. But then, putting yourself, or rather restricting yourself within these frameworks, this box of tradition and culture, is not going to get you anywhere. And
Yeah.
like you, I think it's very important for parents also to play a very important part in this, because now with how we have been brought up in this tradition and culture, we tend to still listen to our parents, try to
Yeah.
make their dreams come true instead of working towards our own, right? And the try to do the same as well. They want to see their children achieve the dreams that they couldn't achieve. And I
Mm-hmm.
think a big mistake, and that's very unfair on this in terms of the child as well. And because the youth now has exposure to different things, they're very advanced, and the generations that are coming up, they're even advanced than we are. They've got a lot of abundance of knowledge, and I think it's important to use that. And the level of creativity they have is very far above from ours. So
Mm-hmm.
it's important to facilitate them and give them that independence for them to use that and
Yeah.
be different people out there, be unique right out there, rather than restricting them and saying, because I think we've had this conversation even between the podcast. See, once in our younger days, when we were back in school, if we were asked what our ambition was, but what would we normally say? We'll say a doctor, no, an engineer, a lawyer, the traditional things, right? But
Yeah.
I was seeing this post on Facebook, or I don't remember which social media platform. It was about this lecturer who was teaching in Japan, and
Mm-hmm.
it's grade fives, and he asked them, "What do you want to become in life?" And the first child who spoke stood up and said she wanted to become a baker. Right? Would we ever say we want to become a baker? We would never say that. If we said that at home, parents would be like, "Are you crazy? We are teaching you, we are putting you so much effort and giving you all this to become a baker. Are you crazy?" Right? And the
Yeah.
second said she wanted to become a shoe manufacturer.
Yeah.
Now, these are entrepreneurial skills. These are the mindsets of children and the talents and the creativity they have at that age. And
Mm.
if you think that we are doing very due, it's not fair on their side. So I think
Yeah.
it's, you said, Ashi, to allow that independence and give
Yeah.
them freedom. But yes, facilitate, be around them, help them, guide them, but not restrict them.
Yeah, I think these restrictions and everything also for this generation of parents, it comes out of love. They try to
It
protect their,
does.
they think they're doing their best, trying to babysit them all the time, even though they're like 25, give food to their hand. No, I mean, as much as the love is there, you're not really doing justice by them. They're not going to be able to handle life, without them.
Yeah. And
So,
I
yeah,
think actually your life has been an example for that. Mine has been an example for that because
yeah,
you were talking about how Ammi was okay to allow you to host an event on the 31st of December, right? Most
yeah.
want the family to be home or rather something of that. But they were enough to give you that freedom. Same here.
Yeah.
Mom's trying to give me
I
that
mean,
freedom to do
hands
whatever.
down, you ask a lot of parents, will you let your daughter
Be
work
out
or
there
like literally
alone.
be alone with a huge crowd on a
Yeah.
31st night till 4 a.m.? Not
Yeah.
everyone's going to raise their hand. I
Raise
mean,
that. True that.
there
So
you go.
that is important, and I think same here as well, because given that independence, not to question my choices, trust in the choices that I make because of the experience we've had and how we've learned from our experiences in life. I
Yeah.
think that independence is so much strong because that cannot be replaced with anything, because we know there's always a support system to fall back, and we also know that there is that support system that give us that freedom for us to enjoy life, to aspire and inspire and go do what we want to do in life, which we do with very self-evaluated way, right? So that was Gaia and taking us long. So we move on to the next episode number 6. Now this was the mid-season, rather they called, and this was a special episode, Ashi, because it was
Which I
titled
missed.
You Did Miss. And it was a very long episode as well, a long podcast, because we had a number of individuals coming in. I think 8
Uh-huh.
of them. So this was all the presidents of the AIESEC in Sri Lanka. It was
And we should
titled
mention their names, no?
Yes. So the title was Impactful Leadership Through Creativity. And this was the mid-season special brought to you by Podcast Season 3, AIESEC Sri Lanka. And so from AIESEC in University of Colombo, we had Sandeshi Bandaranaike. And then from University of Kelaniya, we had Dinushi Disanaike. We had Binod Jayakodi from the University of Moratuwa. And we had Sandun Taraka from the University of Peradeniya. We had Vikum Vijayakorn from AIESEC in the University of Sri Jawadanapura. And from the University of Ruhuna, we had Lahiru Disanaike. And from AIESEC and SLIT, we had Dulanda Yapa. So it was an interesting convo, Ashi. because different individuals, different presidents, and the difference was also again the digital, the pandemic, because their tenures were all pandemic tenures. So it was all digital tenures that they had to face, and how and what they had to do to have that engagement of members, to attract new members and to provide the best to everyone. And this is one example. This very platform, this podcast season 3 is one very example of what they've done to add creativity and add value to those out there, and also involve their members in what they do. So that was season 6, and then we had season 7, or rather, sorry, episode 7.
Episode 7.
Again,
Yeah,
and
episode 7. Yeah. So episode 7 we had with Royal Raymond on the title creative processes in contemporary writing, because she's the editor in chief at media at Rogue Global, and she's a journalist with experience in print, web, radio, and also television, and she runs her own breaking news arm on Twitter. So this was actually a special episode because we were focusing more into contemporary writing and also these media perspectives. There she brought in the fact that how creativity is important. If everyone, because the news happens in Sri Lanka, it's the same. The news is the same, but the way you carry out is the difference, right?
That's right.
So the artist, let's say we're covering an artist, the artist can be the same, but the different individuals who cover the artist, the way they bring out the creativity, that's different. And that's exactly where creativity processes applies in contemporary writing. So this is also great, and she is a great female leader, I would also say, where she brings in a lot of she brought in a lot of creative ideas also to the table, and we had a lot of engaging conversation. It was actually an engaging conversation, I remember. So yeah, that was about episode 7 on creative processes in contemporary writing. Moving forward to episode 8, Kavi.
Episode 8. Yes, that was me again alone with in conversation with Professor Rangika Halvatura. Now, he was a lecturer at he is rather a lecturer at the University of Moratuwa, and he's the youngest professor in civil engineering science in Sri Lanka. He's also a researcher and an innovator. Now, the title was Creativity is the Mirror of the Lifestyle, and this was again a very, very interesting convo, because now, I started the conversation, and I at one point, at the very beginning, I mentioned, because this was at the start of this year, January. So this is the first episode we did in Jan, and I told, so this is a new year, so get the maximum out of it, right? I said something about getting the new opportunity or something of that sort, which I don't exactly remember what I said, but it was about looking forward for new opportunities or something of that. But
Okay.
he correct me where he said not look forward to, but read yourself every day, because every day is an abundance of opportunity, right? And we had this conversation because most of the time as individuals, to start something new, we wait till tomorrow or
Yeah.
Monday or the next week,
Oh
Monday,
yeah,
or the
I
new
am.
month. We have these little things, but it might be because, right, people sometimes don't start things in February because it's a short month. People don't do things sometimes in November because they say it's the month of the death, right?
Yeah.
So there are these little things that we have in mind and all that, right? But if you go to a Western culture, do they give a single?
Damn.
They don't,
Yeah.
right? Because they take every day as a new opportunity, an abundance of opportunity, and they put in their heart and soul and they do what they want to. And that is why probably they are developed, and we are developing for the past, I don't know how many years. And that's a conversation as well, because even
Yeah.
in school, right? But it's been close to 10 years now that we've left school. We learned Lanka is
When you put it that way, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So back in school, we learned Sri Lanka is a developing country, and even today, he's a developing country. Now that's the sad fact. So
Yeah.
probably maybe this creativity and how we do things and reading ourselves and reading the people around us would help us change the way and help us change the country as well. Probably one day, fingers crossed, and hope
Yeah,
for
that's
the.
right. I think what you're saying is actually right. I would like to interrupt you a little bit there to say it's not about waiting for the country or the government to do anything.
That's right.
Like pack up, gear up, and do your own thing.
Own thing.
Get yourself sorted. Don't complain. Government is not doing that and this and that port city, this tower, and what is happening and what. No. But the
Find your way
same
through.
people, yeah. And one thing is, okay, fine. Country has its ups and downs. Okay, economy is going for a six. That's a different story. But some of these people who actually complain and throw stones at the government saying blah 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 are the same people who go and look around Port City and throw plastics and put masks away and come. But where's your part as a responsible citizen? Like play your part. You can't always blame government to be like atana kunu metana kunu, they're not clearing that and this. You are the one who's putting that. First of all,
that's right. That's right. And one more nice thing that he brought out, Ashi, was now, since we brought out the topic of politics, now he did bring up the topic of politics as well. Now we blame these politicians, the 225 out there, right? We blame. All we do is we blame them, right? But he showed the beautiful aspect that they've brought out. They have been able. This 225 has been able to read the people of the country and act accordingly, that they were selected or they were voted to be who they are, right? And that's one thing we don't realize. They do that right. They do read themselves. They do read the people around them right. And that's what we don't do. We don't read ourselves. We don't read the people, right? So they've done that right, politicians. And so that's a lesson. That's a lesson for us too.
Amazing. I think both of us are getting carried away with these conversations.
We are.
Right. Coming into episode 9, which is conducted by me again. It was on the title of AIESEC Journey Through Creativity. And who else to talk about the AIESEC journey through creativity, if not for the country president of AIESEC Sri Lanka? We had Banuka Hathurusinghe to talk about this. It was actually a very engaging conversation once again with Banuka. We had the last episode where we spoke about the AIESEC vision and the projects of AIESEC, the team behind, and how the work is done, and the challenges he as a president has faced. So I think these leadership roles you can never bring into a hierarchy. And when it comes to even the president of AIESEC, it's a lot of responsibility, right? And to put all these out and be creative, take a whole year, plan every project for the whole year. So it's crazy. But I think if these people actually get into parliament, they'll do a better job, because they are it's totally apart from their studies and stuff, right? So they chose to be AIESECers, and all of them, and the production, the national showcasing team as well. What they do is they plan all the projects for the year, they put deadlines, and they make sure they reach the deadline. And it's a teamwork that comes together, and it's amazing. And imagine leading all of it as a president of AIESEC. I think that's crazy. So I mean, crazy, when I use crazy, I mean like good crazy. Okay?
Crazy.
So, yeah.
And actually, I agree, because I think the platform as AIESEC is so complicated than what we think it is. We think it's a few people coming together, trying to put out an episode, trying to do an online series, bringing some people talk. But no, they do so much more. Having worked with them, I think for the past 3 to 4 years now, I hear terms that we still don't understand. They say this president, that club, that president, this vice president, every person has a subcommittee, this, that, and the other, whatnot. So it's a whole organized group of people that are working towards a common goal, right?
Yeah.
To see how organized they are, the number of responsibilities they take, and the initiatives they take, how creative they become. Sometimes they start their meetings at 12 midnight, right? People have crazy late hours, right? And all that amidst doing their university studies is remarkable.
Yeah, that's amazing.
All of them, and yes. So I think that has been the 9 episodes, and here we are on the 10th.
Yeah, that has been the recap, and that's about the recap of all episodes, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, pretty interesting. I mean, it was nice to like recap everything and go back in past as well. go back
Yes.
down the memory lane as the theme today.
That is
So
right.
now,
So,
as
if I may ask you, what was your, because we missed the icebreaker question, so I thought we'll bring it out at the end of
oh, okay.
the episode.
Did we? Okay.
Yeah, we did.
Right. Tell me. Okay. What
What's
are you
your
going to
favorite
ask me?
episode? So, ladies and gentlemen, all of you can answer this as well. To everyone who's
Yeah.
watching and listening to us, what was your favorite episode? We had 10 episodes, the first and the 10th, which the two of us conquered, and the others, which we had different personalities coming in. So, do let us know which was your favorite episode as well. And now, Ashi, what was yours?
I think the question is rather what is, because I'm glad we're asking this question at the end, simply because I think this episode is my favorite, where we actually speak. It's just two of us. That's one thing. No offense to anyone else, but where we recap, and we have also learned as hosts, and we are trying to communicate that. I think this is amazing, and I think episode 10, the finale, is my favorite episode. Now, Kavi, what is yours?
Episode 10 it is, Ashi. Episode 10 it is, hands down. Yes, because I think it's because we did not restrict to one episode, but we had all of it together.
Yeah,
right? So that's
exactly.
why it is important. And again, like Ashi said, it's the two of us, and it's always good to be back with my very co-host. And
Feeling is mutual. And
Yes.
yes, everyone, let us know, like I said at the beginning as well. Comment us, let us know your comments, and get in touch with us. Let us know how we've done the episodes, and if there's anything that you all want to get in touch with us. Also, we are on social media. Get in touch for anything. I think I use the get in touch a lot so that you can get in touch.
Get in touch.
So with that, we're moving into the final segment. So why don't we play a game? No, Kavi.
Yes.
We have spoken enough about
Right.
others.
Hot seat for the two
Right?
of us.
Yes. Okay. So hot seat segment. Let's go. Let's just take like rapid. Like let's make this like fun.
Alright.
Okay.
I'll ask you first. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Ashi, what is something you hate doing and why?
Appa. Waking up in the morning,
Sensei.
like early morning. No, not sensor. I don't think I hate it.
Mornings, early mornings.
Oh yeah, early mornings. I'm still trying. Now I'm getting into more businesses as well, and this requires more time. And I'm thinking, do I really want to get into business with the economy? And then I'm thinking, no, if you make a change, wake up early morning, wake 1 hour early, and then do this. Okay, waking up early morning. Kavi, what is yours? What is that something that you hate doing and why?
Okay. Now I think waking up early is one thing I can do. I can manage. So not that. Yeah, I can manage because we had morning practice, this, that, and the other. So we've been doing it for years. That's
but now it's different for me because I have late nights.
Yeah,
so I sleep around.
So
2.
I think after the pandemic things have changed, and if I recall, waking up early is a thing I hate now because I think the 2 years has changed a lot. We stuck at home. We could just get up and log in and start things. We don't have to get up 1.5 hours early. Brush and do all that. You don't have to do this. So maybe
I know.
Waking up.
But if I start waking up early morning, I think I would be
yes,
good.
we get
I
that
like
back into the
it.
system.
Yeah.
It
So
gives you a fresh
what do you hate? Tell.
Waking up in the morning. I'll stick to that.
Okay. Wait, I hate one more thing. Replying to all WhatsApp messages.
Okay.
I hate it.
I think we can relate.
Yeah, I hate it. I mean, one thing I really don't have time because most of the time, අපි events වල ඉන්නකොට තමයි ඔක්කොම messages ඔක්කොම like when you think okay when you come home you'll have time and when you come home you just all want is to go to bed and then you miss all this. So sorry about everyone who hasn't got a reply from me for years or for weeks. So yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, moving on. Okay, I'm going to ask this question.
Okay.
If you had to choose between only having a mobile or a vehicle for the rest of your life, which would you choose?
Oopsie daisy. I think I'll go with the mobile. Vehicle, public transport could do still do, but mobile, I think now would be necessary for us to keep in touch, do our things, and maybe we could use the mobile to do something that we could earn a vehicle. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think
I
mobile.
think for me, of course,
Mobile. You need your selfies and the coverage done and all. Huh?
yeah, I mean, if I have to choose one and I have no other option, yes, it's a mobile phone, but vehicle is also a
Yeah,
must.
it is a must. But then, given that you
The
have no,
few days I didn't have, I went crazy because Uber doesn't come on time. I mean, sorry for using a brand, but yeah, these like
yeah,
taxis and stuff, they don't come on time. අර brand එකේ උපදන ටීක් කියලා දාන්න.
Nagan.
They don't come on time and
Right.
then මාර වාතයක් ඉතින්. I mean මේකප් දාගෙන ඇඳගෙන public transport
Yeah.
යන්න බෑනේ. So
And
I mean,
carrying all that luggage with you and
yeah,
all that.
when you have like
things,
2 to 3 events for a day, when
events.
you have to change, you're carrying a suitcase with a lot of hangers and you need a
You need a vehicle to hang all that and relax yourself and go.
ඕගොල්ලන්ට එක සූට් එකයි ෂර්ට් එක මාරු කරාම හරි අපිට බෑ. හරි. Moving on.
All right. What's your favorite smell?
Smell.
Yeah.
I am getting a lot of things into my head.
I thought as much.
Favorite
We are a
smell.
public forum.
Yeah, we have to behave. I would say my perfume.
Which is?
Body Shop jasmine blossom or something like some
Right,
blossom,
okay.
Japanese blossom something. I like it a lot.
All right. All right. For me, I think it's the aqua smell. I like perfumes with an aqua fragrance.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
All righty.
Okay,
Rashi.
what is your favorite cartoon character, Kali?
Favorite cartoon character.
අපි මේක ටටා ගාලා යන්නේ පළවෙනි thought
Yeah.
එකම කියන්න දාන්න. What is your favorite cartoon?
Scooby-Doo. First thought, Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, මාත් එහෙම තමයි.
Simple as that.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo.
All right. Your celebrity crush. You should have got time to prepare for these questions, man.
Yeah, I never saw these questions before. Do I have a celebrity crush? I don't think I have. I don't.
Not one in specific, mate.
නෑ මට එහෙම
Not
fiction
celebrity crush, but maybe people you admire. That's about it. Not
Yeah.
like a fan of
මට
one
එහෙම
person.
නෑ. Like,
Like,
I've never been a person with අර post දාගෙන gone
Same
crazy
here.
about these celebrities. නෑ මට නෑ.
Nah.
Even
I think we
movie
don't have that
stars-
with our generation, maybe.
No.
Or
No. There are.
There are. We are a different breed.
I would say myself.
Yeah. Okay.
Who's your celebrity crush?
Ashi.
Okay. Okay. Oh. I love you. You love me. Okay.
We are a happy family, and we move to the
Yeah.
next question.
Okay. What is your earliest childhood memory, Kali?
Oh, sure.
I know this.
Earliest childhood memory. I think this was a little part of my father's speech. If you heard,
Yeah.
and going
Yeah.
abroad, I think, yeah. So that's like the earliest memory. I was around 3 years, 2.5 or 3, somewhere around.
Would you
Luminous
like to share it with everyone in brief?
Yeah, so this was when I was 2.5 years or 3. So I was in luminous, just like the speech says, I was in luminous orange shorts running around the family, which was filled with relatives and cousins for a reason I don't know why, and being passed from hand to hand, kissed by all the girls. Oh gosh, I miss that. And in a while, he walked dressed. I knew Dad didn't go to work in the night, and I looked up and I asked Dad, "Where are you going?" Just carried me kissed the sweat rolling down my forehead, kept me on his shoulders, and put me to sleep. Right? I'll stop there. I'll stop there. I'll get emotional if not.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I know this story.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
So
sorry.
that's like the earliest memory.
Yeah.
And you, yeah, tell me.
My earliest childhood memory is again a little traumatic, Kavi.
Okay.
Because my father was in the army,
Hmm.
military, and I remember my mother, my elder brother, and we were the family, and we were waiting because there were no mobile phones. Like my father was in the front line in the army as well. So we never heard, like, he just goes, he disappears for like months, and we have to watch news to see. Okay, we know what his troop is, but like, okay, what has happened to this troop? But are they safe? So when the news says, my mother used to call the central, like the
Yeah.
place camp, and ask, okay, are they okay? So we have to wait for a call from the camp to say everyone in the troop are safe. Like, they say, okay, Major Veer Singh is safe. And we're like, okay. So I might not have understood the whole process of war growing up. I mean, the earliest childhood,
Earliest.
but I remember seeing that scare in my mother's face, and I remember I didn't know what we are doing, but we all three of us used to just watch TV, and then I know, oh, we are waiting for our father to be safe. So that is my earliest memory, and I know
Yeah.
how scared we all grew up.
I think that was
So
place for I think all kids who had fathers in the
yeah,
military
my gosh,
back then. Yeah, tell me.
that's strong. That's strong.
Yes,
Because
yeah.
everyone else have their father coming to parents meeting and stuff. I never had. And I know, like, he's in the frontline army, like, at the war. So again, we don't know, right? We don't even hear his voice. We just have to wait for news to be like, oh, okay, he's safe.
Yeah.
So I've seen my mom's face is literally my memory, because I might have not been able to grasp everything, but I've seen her face going from, okay, like, what's happening, is he safe, to like, he's safe.
The
So
sigh, yeah.
that.
It's
Okay, moving
been
on.
that's it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Whew.
That.
Okay, what did you cook for the very first time in your life, Kavi?
I think an omelette.
I think all of us might have put an omelette, no?
Omelette first. No, that was like the easiest we could do. And
Yeah,
then
I
we
know.
advanced. So yeah,
What is your? I will ask. What is your favorite? Like, what is your best dish? If you can, I know you can cook, right?
Chicken.
Same. Chicken. I mean, I can cook anything, but chicken is my dish.
Same to same.
And
I do
pasta, actually. Yeah.
chicken and I do a chicken salad as well. So that I think is like
Okay.
yeah.
Let's have dinner. Let's cook and have a dinner. Okay. Okay. Let's say just two more questions. What is the best trip you ever had, Kavi?
Best trip I think it was to Maldives, and this was an event I did in Maldives, and I think that was the best trip for me. To get that experience, get that exposure, go out, see the seas.
Yeah.
It was
I
nice.
still haven't been to Maldives.
We should.
Yeah.
You would. Yeah. So yeah.
Best trip for
Maldives.
me.
And yours?
Every family trip had been a best trip for me, because we never go on family trips unless my father comes down. So every time he comes down, only we get to go. Now he's abroad again. Like, we've never been together as family. So when he comes down, we go on a family trip. Then I know, okay, every trip with the family has been a good trip.
Been a good.
Oh,
Alrighty.
Then
Last question.
you
And
can't
last
say all
question.
trips you've been.
Great enough. Last question. If you were a bird, what type of bird would you be?
Ayyo. Is peacock a bird? Yes, no?
Yeah.
I would say peacock, and I'll have my show time when needed and go to my cave. What is?
For me, I think I'll be an eagle. Because I like to be,
Okay.
that's also, have my, stay out and watch out and all that. Yeah. An eagle. That brings us to the end.
All right. Yes, we've now come to the end, and that was fun. We also had a little bit of fun for the finale, and we've come to the end of AIESEC podcast season 3, episode 10, which is the finale, and this is the end of season 3 as well. So, as we
It
mentioned
is.
before, please comment and let us know how we've done the whole season and give your wishes. More than two of us, there's a whole team working behind, that is the
Yes.
national showcasing team. So, kudos to them again. Thank you so much for getting Kavi and I to host this. I'm sure. I actually want to ask them later, why did y'all actually choose us?
Choose
But
us.
I'm sure there was some trust in us that we will be able to do some good job, and I think we did that. Thank you so much for having us as hosts. And you can watch all episodes of the season, and especially this through what other platforms, Kavi?
Yeah, that's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor.fm, YouTube, and the Facebook page of AIESEC Sri Lanka. And also, along with the national showcasing team, there's more people to thank for putting all this together. That is the content writing team, the graphics team, the video team, and the platform team of obviously the showcasing national showcasing team, the AIESEC team that came together along with the president and the organizing committee. We've had our conversations. They've treated us for our birthdays, which we
Yeah, so sweet.
enjoyed, right? So that was so nice of them. It's been, we built that nice relationship and bond over the time.
Mm.
So kudos to all of them for putting in their heart and soul, their efforts, and bringing this episode, or rather this season, to all of you, so that you can learn something, impart it in your life, and take it forward.
Yeah. So that's about it. And this is, I think, the time to say, Ivarai.
It is. It is. So this is
Yeah.
us, and till we
Signing
meet.
off.
Signing off is your host Kaveshka Pereira, and
And I am Ashingsani Veerasinghe. So, yeah, stay in touch. We shall see you soon, hopefully, with another great project with AIESEC Sri Lanka. All
stay
the
safe,
best to all.
stay blessed. Till next
Yeah,
time.
stay blessed. More power to everyone. See you. Bye bye.
Bye.